I embrace diversity of thought, whether it's the minority report, the majority report. This is going to intimidate board members possibly from expressing that minority report. And
I've never been intimidated to speak my mind. I will tell you that right now. And actually,
I have the floor, Mr. Chairman.
Still have the floor. Your chairman did not acknowledge you.
Mr. Chairman, I have the floor.
Go ahead, Ms. Baldwin.
And I personally would invite all board members to express their views, again, whether it's the majority of the board, whether I agree with it or not. It's important that everybody's view is heard, that we have a full discussion of issues. And I would be happy for you to censure me at every single meeting if you want to.
That is
my
not
loyalty.
my intent.
Hold on. First of all, I don't know that Ms. Churchill has said anything about censuring you.
No, I'm giving an example. I'm just saying I'm willing to be censured at every meeting if you want to do that, because I represent the people. I have the public's trust. I don't serve the administration. I wasn't elected to serve the administration, and I, feel this is absolutely a gag order. This is absolutely an intimidation tactic.
Give me an example of where you feel that this policy is a gag order.
I already read sentence number 2, where you can condemn the actions or reprimand a board member for anything, a violation of law, of course, a violation of policy, or any other conduct. The board doesn't have the right to do that. That's the public's job.
And you have the right to do that if you're not happy with something that I
have
said.
the
You
floor.
can certainly condemn.
I have the floor, Ms. Churchill.
Well, I never.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
That's fine.
All right, Ms. Churchill, would you like to go ahead and speak?
I'll go ahead and release.
My 10 minutes are not up, Mr. Chairman. Point of
Who said
order.
anything about 10 minutes?
Mr. Campbell, would you please give us the parliamentary?
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Baldwin.
It's in Robert's Rules of Order.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And remember, I'm the board chair and I control the meetings, okay?
Hegemony. That's what you just said, hegemony. Look it up if you don't know what it means, but it's an authoritarian status quo form of governance. And that's what we have here if we pass this policy. Using the threat of force and domination in the meeting is another example of hegemony. Like I said, for us to decide instead of the voters are the ones who decide. If they don't like the conduct of a board member, they don't vote that person in. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
So I'd like to make a motion that we put 2118 in, is it already automatically?
Yeah, the motion would be that if you have 2118, that you would leave it on first reading and remove 1035 from first reading.
Okay.
Yeah, the motion was to leave policy 2118 on for first reading, starting on the agenda, and remove 1035. So that means that the board will have 2118 before it at its next regular meeting for second reading.
Okay. All right. So we have the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I think we've pretty well discussed it. So all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Okay. So that was 5-2. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Right.
Okay. So it'll be on the agenda next month for second reading. Okay. All right. So where are we now? Okay. So still on the action agenda, we have the addendum to the 2013-2014 driver education contract. Is there a motion to approve as presented?
I move we approve.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Ms. Baldwin, you asked me to move it so you can ask your question.
Yeah, I was concerned that the price, I believe it's going up from $20 to $40. The students will be charged for taking driver's ed. And this comes on the heels, we just approved the contract. I don't think that we need to do an extension. It should have been included in that original contract. Now that this company has the contract, they want to change the terms, they want to double the price for students. I'm trying to get to that thing, I can't remember if the justification for the price increase was on here, I believe there was
Well, I
something,
think,
I can't remember what it was.
I think that it had to do with the actual approved budget, which, was not finalized until last week.
But I feel like they should have put a stipulation in the contract to say if the General Assembly changes the amount, then we have the right to change the contract or something, but they didn't do that.
Okay, Dr. Ball. Mr. Ledford has been extremely patient, sitting on that back row, and so he is our expert, he is our Director of Mountain Professionals. Mr. Ledford, you want to address history of this?
I'd be happy to. Do I need to come up here? Or?
Probably better.
Please.
Appreciate you all giving me the opportunity to explain what has happened. Every year, we have 9 contracts with 9 different LEAs in Western North Carolina. And every year, of course, contracts renew. And we generally start working on those with, primarily with your finance office. That's where it first shows its head. And this year, with the help of Mr. Venturelli and Paula Garland and a whole bunch of people, we got the contract ready. Driver's ed came out of the governor's budget at the same allotment as last year, which pleased us immensely. We thought that we were going to be able to escape any cuts in driver's ed, which would have been a little unusual in Raleigh this year. But when it got to the Senate appropriation, transportation appropriation, cut the budget from $200 to $184. I'm using round figures. It's $200.36 and $184.31, but cut it from 200 to 184. So naturally, driver's ed people and their association and their lobbyists started to politic, if you would, to try to get the allotment back to where the governor had it. So when it left the Senate and went over to the House agreed with us. And they put it back in at 200. So now we had the governor, we had the House, and we had reasonable assurance from our contacts in the Senate that when it got to conference that it would go back to 200. We felt real good about it until Thursday before they passed the budget. Well, on a Friday night, we felt real good up until Thursday. So when it got in conference, someone decided to divide the baby, and we wound up with $191.92. I had asked for the fixing the contract because of those cuts. And if I may take 2 more minutes, 3 years ago, the legislature cut us from roughly $225 to 200. At that time, Mountain Professionals was very pleased. The employees of Mountain Professionals volunteered for a 12% pay cut so that we didn't have to charge a fee in any LEA that we're in. With the idea, we thought we could get it back in the short session. Surprise, surprise, we didn't get it back. In the meantime, all across North Carolina, most LEAs went ahead and was charging $45. I don't know exactly, I dare say 80% of it, out of the gate, was charging $45. The second year, we talked with their teachers. They agreed if we would give them back half of their pay cut, that they would continue working for us. We didn't lose a teacher. In 9 counties, over 50 teachers, we didn't lose one because of this issue. So we asked for the $20. We gave them back half of their cut. In the meantime, if 22 years ago, the allotment per child in North Carolina averaged $275, and I can document that. 22 years ago, $275. When I went into business 22 years ago, I bought new cars for $8,500. I am buying program cars now that are good cars and paying $12,000. 22 years ago, gasoline was $1 a gallon. I can document that. 22 years ago, a tire cost me $45, $50, a good tire. With our new cars, instead of a 12, 13, or 14-inch rim, we have 16, 15, and 16-inch rims. A new tire is costing us over $100. You know, I'm in business not to swap nickels. I have to make some money. With our teachers, with the $40 that we're requesting, we can continue to provide you with a safe, reliable, good program. One other thing, we have 17 teachers in Buncombe County. I hope I don't misspeak. 16 of them, all 17 of them, are either employees or former employees of you folks. 16 of the 17 have at least a bachelor's degree. Most of them have been or are DPI certified teachers. We are mountain professionals. So if I stay in business, I've got to, and other LEAs are charging $55. I won't call their names, that's their business, but all over the state, other driver schools and people in-house are charging the $55. I'll bet you we're one of the few that's not charging $55. I took too long, I apologize.
So that's, Mr. Loeb, that's the cap, right? 55 is the max.
55 is the maximum, we're asking for 40.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What happens to the student that wants to take driver's ed but cannot afford the $40 fee? Do we absorb that cost? Is there some way to do a sliding scale?
We worried about that all over the system, not just Buncombe County. I do know in Buncombe County of 2 or 3, maybe 4 cases where, I know a couple of cases where the teacher paid it. I asked the teachers not to do that. We'll waive it if it's legitimate. We have, but it hadn't been a problem. It has not been at this point. It's going to be interesting if you all will approve 40 and the other LEAs have already, you all are the last stop as far as approving the 40. It'll be interesting, but we're not going to turn the child down.
Any other questions or comments?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard. All right, all in favor, please signify by saying approving the addendum to the contract. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. All right, we have next on the action agenda, policy code 2120, code of ethics for school board members. This is the second reading. Do I have a motion to approve policy code 2120?
Chairman, I move that we approve policy 2120.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Any discussion?
I would like to make a motion that we change the language in the policy on number 12.
Okay.
I would consider that a friendly amendment.
Okay,
And can we define that?
and that was to remove
Commenting on
the word commenting on?
Yes.
Okay, so we have that as a friendly amendment. Do we need a second? No.
I will accept it. I'll accept it.
Okay, any discussion?
I also have a question about the phrase smart town, about the grievance policy. Didn't we pass, a grievance policy, but I can't remember if it was specific to this instance. So I thought maybe we don't need to mark that out. We have a grievance policy.
I had the same thought, you could actually add the word "and" before the struck out language and leave in the struck out language, and actually it would make no sense.
Okay, can I?
Well,
amend the amendment?
the struck out language didn't have anything to do with what's in red letter. The red words were added, the struck out language was after complainant to follow the board's complaint grievance policy to resolve concerns. Is that correct?
You just say,
I'm saying that now that we've got, and we've had policies before, but I would read that to say, direct the complainant to the appropriate school official in accordance with board law, and follow the board's complaint or grievance process to resolve concerns. That would impose on board members an obligation to follow the board's grievance process and not inappropriately get involved in the process. So I think it actually strengthens it by leaving it in, because it says you board members are not going to interfere with the policies you pass when somebody files a grievance.
Ms. Franklin, would you also accept that as a friendly amendment?
I would accept that as a friendly amendment, yes.
I'd be okay with it too.
Thank you, Mr. Craig. Is there any other questions or
I
concerns?
would like to ask, the word "and" to me means that you must do two things. Would it be better to say "and" or"? Because the word "and" in that situation tells me it must go to the appropriate school official in accordance with board policy and follow the board's complaint or grievance process to resolve concerns. And those are two different things. And the word "and" to me says you gotta do both, and/or.
I would consider that a friendly amendment.
All right, anything else? Anybody else want to add or take?
On number 4, the change in red, I wanted to add, 3 words, I guess. Model civility to students, employees, and all elements of the community by interacting courteously and professionally with all school employees and board members. Encouraging the free expression of opinion, blah, blah, blah.
Ms. Franklin?
Can I ask to make sure I understand? Can I ask to make sure I understand right? After the red "and," 2 words, board members, comma, encouraging the free or semicolon, whatever's supposed to go there, I guess, comma. Is that right, Ms. Baldwin? Is that, okay, thank you.
Number 4, are
Hold
we discussing?
on just 1 second.
Yes.
Connie? Ms. Jackson, I'm sorry.
Would Mrs. Baldwin say again when number 4, because I didn't have it from me either.
Okay. Just after the red and, the board members.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then the word "and" again.
And board members and encouraging the free expression of opinion.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so 2 and.
Yeah, 2 and.
And board members and.
My English teacher in college would be upset at that meeting.
All right, I believe Ms. Franklin is okay with that, Mr. Craig? All right, anything else? All right, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, board committees, 2230. Have a motion to approve that policy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any questions or discussion?
Yes, since I asked to move it to the action agenda. There's quite a bit of changes.
Mr. Chair, can I make a comment while she's looking at that as it relates to that? I think it's important for all of us as board members to understand with committees, we go sit in and committee work. We are elected officials, and if we interject and get too involved in those meetings that involve committee work that Ms. Walmer's chair of the calendar committee or whatever committee it is, whether we mean to or not, we bring political top-end pressure to the everyday working staff of this system. And I think it's important, regardless of whether this is adopted or not, that we be mindful of that as it relates to how we interact in those meetings with those people in those variety of committees.
Duly noted. Ms. Baldwin?
I guess my concern is in general, about the formation of the committee. And, I know in the past, there are people from the community who volunteered to be on committees and were not permitted to be on them, even though they were highly qualified, people. So I just want to ensure that the people who are interested, who are, have expertise maybe in the area of the committee want to encourage, you know, the business community to partner with us. And I don't think it sends a good message when people are turned down for committees, who actually, you know, want to be on the committee. So I don't think there's a way to ensure that will happen.
Can I make a
Yes,
comment
sure,
to that? I just wanted to mention that with the STEM committee that I'm currently serving on, one of the things that Mrs. Cheek has done to help that so that we don't have 40, 50 members on a committee is that she has kept those individuals' contact information and has sent out letters asking if they would at a future date be willing to help out with X, Y, or Z. So still keeping them in the loop, but
Yeah, I mean,
not making our committee so big that nothing gets done.
we certainly couldn't allow everyone that wanted to serve on the committee. I mean, if you had just a few volunteers, that would be one thing, but if you had 50 volunteers,
Right.
I would think that
If something like the
logistically,
STEM committee was very
that would make it very difficult.
And that was the reason for the paragraph 3, Ms. Baldwin, that non-committee members are welcome to attend committee meetings, but they have no right to participate except as permitted by the committee. The committee decides about letting people join in public comment and those kinds of things, but they're not actually a committee member. They're welcome to come. These are public meetings, and the staff came up with this list because it was a legitimate question. How do we handle someone who wants to join a committee? How do we handle somebody who just wants to show up and talk? How do we handle a group of parents that want to come and give public comment? And basically, just like this board, the big picture is it's up to the committee. But the one thing that I think the staff felt strongly about is when the committee is formed, if somebody's going to be formally added as a committee member, that should be the will of the committee. And then I'm sure if the committee was the chair, the chair's not going to have a problem adding that person. So as far as citizen participation, that's protected by saying, yes, the committee can take as much citizen participation as it wants without making that person a committee member.
So I don't know if we need to add something on here that the meetings will be posted on the website for committees so that people are aware that they can attend.
We've already said, we follow the open meetings law, so they're published just like school improvement plans and everything like that.
So it's on the website.
How Ms. Jackson notices public meetings is how we'll be noticing committee meetings.
Like they do the SIC.
Just like you do the SIC.
Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Hopefully, I've covered everything on the action agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Mr. Chairman, I want to ask a question, maybe make an adjustment. Board of Education meeting schedule for 2013-14, Thursday, December 5th is the Thursday after Thanksgiving. We will not be working on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thanksgiving is late this year, the 28th of November. It might behoove us to move that to the following week, and perhaps at the time, I don't know if this board's always met on Thursdays, would it be appropriate to perhaps change that meeting date to the following Monday?
It would be Veterans Day.
Well, we don't want to do that. And maybe the next Thursday works, but,
That's on the information agenda.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I jumped the gun, excuse me.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry.
So do we have a second?
My apologies, you're right.
Yeah, I was looking, I was like, what am I missing?
I'm in the wrong area.
My agenda's wrong.
I'm in the wrong place.
All right, we have a motion, did we have a second? Who seconded? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all
I
right.
apologize.
All right, so we'll move down to the information agenda, and would you like?
I don't care, I just know that
Would you
you
helpful? We don't have to worry, we're not in election year, so we don't have to worry about that. So would you like the board to consider moving it to the second Thursday? Ms. Jackson, maybe I should ask you.
I mean, there'll be no way to do what you gotta do with the agenda.
We never had any issue, with getting board material done.
I think the big thing is we'll just have to make sure that we get any board material in a little bit earlier, because normally we do it on, you know, I receive things on Thursday night. I try to get them to Connie by Monday at latest.
Well, I'm just thinking, Wednesday, we don't work, Thursday, we don't work, Friday, we don't work, and there may be some folks, whether they be employees or people on this board, that take off on Tuesday. I would just hate for something to get missed that ought to be there, that someone wants there, that's business of the school system, that we can eliminate by just moving back a week in December.
Ms. Jackson? Okay, if I can get a consensus from the board, that they want to move that, it's okay to move it to the 12th? December 12th? Is everybody okay with that? Okay, all right, we'll move it to the 12th, unless anyone objects. All right, next board meeting, September 5th, 2013. And then we have the countywide advisory council meeting at Reynolds High School this year. That means come full circle. That was where that first one was, when I had to talk about balanced literacy. But it will be October 15th, 2013. It scarred me. That's how I remember. So, is there? I was a low man on the totem pole. That's why I got that one. So, is there a motion to adjourn? All in favor, say aye.
Mr. Chair, are we taking our road show again this year like we did last year? You and I were Carson and McMahon were. Good to see you.
See ya.
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, absolutely. Good night, ladies.
Ms. Jackson, I tried to take good notes. We will make sure we follow policy. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna be in this show, and I know.
You don't need back in there, do you?
I do not.
You got Bill's key?
No, I put it back on his desk. He just said come grab him.
Everybody.
And,
Keys was gone, I mean, it was open.
yeah, I went down there once and I was looking for you and
I was out, I did a run to,
and Lois said, I don't know, he'll probably be back. I was like, well, I'm gonna go grab him. Dylan said I could just hold on to it.
I had to run out to one of the schools. What time was that about? Oh, I was in a meeting with Mary Beth. Yeah, I was in a meeting in Congress May.
I was after her, maybe about 3.
Three's about,
You're got that camera that's right behind her. It's not ours. In your stand.
Well, thanks for your help. You know, when you overdo something. That worked great.
you're on line, right? You're on line, right?
Yeah, it's off now.
Good to see that you're back.
Is as of here, if you don't have a paid Ustream account, you're gonna get ads every 40 minutes. It's just gonna cut out and cut back in. So it might be on a delay. Don't break the cameras out.
Let's break the cameras down and not break the cameras.
Yeah.
Grant, should we leave all the couplers attached and everything?
See why not?
Okay.
It's just gonna make it easier for when we gotta settle, we gotta settle this business, I say, when, I mean, we gotta settle this business back up again.
Yeah.
Wires. Wires.
Yeah, don't you wish we could just do this with no wires?
Like a bunch of snakes.
It's a bowl of spaghetti.
Can I borrow your equipment
Oh,
for
wait.
the first Thursday of every month?
Oh, it's
You're
real.
not gonna be
It's
using
real
it.
all wireless.
That'd make it too easy.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
How's that wireless?
Wow, that's so cool too. And you say you've got 3 guys on
3 main,
big mics?
yeah, this is, they're on
But
both.
you're smooth. How smooth is yours?
Do you wanna leave that in there?
Leave it in where?
The wires attached?
Oh, I thought we were gonna leave them attached to the bundles. You wanna attach them to the cameras?
Maybe, cause that way I know which one to go in.
Hey, we can do that.
These long wires, we'll just,
I don't want that.
we'll maybe take apart.
Yeah, use what, the pigtails?
Yeah, that sounds good. Oh, wow, yeah, that's cool. That's so smooth.
Yeah, it's full hand control cameras, so you don't touch the camera. You go zoom and handle.
I was getting.
Okay, this is way smooth. No, this doesn't go on camera ever. Not, never again.
Oh, yeah.
Go to wide shot.
Yeah, Grant, what I was doing is when 2 of them were going back and forth, whatever one you were on, you were locked in on.
We were going to the other one. No, but mine is.
I'm gonna put this camera beside it next time. Oh, yeah.
We got a camera down here, we have camera,
Where's your robot camera?
we got one right up here, and then we got one in the
So
side.
you just,
But
so
joystick
is it
control.
talk joystick?
Joystick controls both cameras. You can't move both of them at the same time, but.
Right.
Of course, we have 3 more cameras. And then you see one of them, this is one of the
Okay,
5 lighting.
my power cord's
And you
up
said
there.
somebody runs that independently?
Yeah, we have, my son and I spent 9 hours just for one Saturday.
Just
You
went.
guys definitely gotta run the audio
We had a
feed show.
lift that we went up and we just.
Brought your own board and all.
We
Yeah,
set lights.
well, it's been a year I've been doing it, so I've been on a learning curve, so.
Lined up all the way
I'm,
across.
I'm just trying to make sure I do it.
Another set.
Wow.
And then we have.
My cable and power.
It's lit by 3 lights. And they're literally beamed like this. So that it's
And the
on.
people-
Right on it.
Top, below. So that it's lit
Oh, wow. So some kid goes up there?
No, they can't. You'd have to get up to the lights. And they're 30 feet up.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
Here. I'll hand this one. I've got to go to kind of.
No, that's not.
That's the lock collar. It's this one. We got a.
CD-40, but I want to.
No, man, but.
Right there.
White lithium grease.
But, yeah.
That's super, super good.
Wait, one more.
And that'll control your turning.
Next time you bring a grant.
Yes, sir.
Reach it up.
Dude, I've got, if I had thought about it, I got how much wood it was.